and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Mazliza binti Musa. My matrix number is 06D8023F1114. So today, my group and I would like to present our case study for the subject Professional Ethics DPA50173. Okay, our case is about Worldcom accounting scandal. This presentation is prepared for Madam Hairida binti Osman. So next, we move on to the next slide. Hi, before we begin our presentation, let me introduce my group members. There are 5 of us in this group, which is myself, is Nur Mazliza. Next is Darshani, Pavitra Subedi, Amir Tashini, and also Putri Anissa. Each of us will be presenting different part of these cases. So, as we can see on this slide have a company background. So, I will start in our presentation today with a short introduction about our company in our case, which is Worldcom. So, basically, Worldcom was founded in 1983, originally known as Long Distance Discount Services or LDDS. The founder was Bernard Evers, and the company was based on Clinton, Mississippi, USA, which is United States America. It was part of telecommunication industry, mainly providing long distance telephone and also internet services. During 1990s, Worldcom grew very fast through merger and acquisition, including buying MCI Communication in 1998. At its peak, Worldcom became one of the largest telecom companies in the world, worth over 1,800 billion US dollars and employing around 80,000 people. So, however, in 2002, the company collapsed after being involved in one of the biggest accounting scandals in history. So, I will explain the scandal history on the next slide. Okay, so on this slide, I will share the overview of this scandal, which is Worldcom case. Worldcom company. Okay, Worldcom company started facing financial decline in early 2000 when the company performance began to drop. So during this time, the top management, which is CEO Bernard Evers and CFO, which is Scott Sullivan, tried to cover up their losses, which is they falsified the financial statement by recording normal operating expenses as a capital asset, which made the company profit look higher than they really were. So the fraud was massive, estimated to be over 11 billion US dollar, and also it happened from 1999 until 2002. It it was eventually discovered in 2002 by Cynthia Cooper. So, Cynthia Cooper is the head of the internal auditor who exposed the wrongdoing in the company. So, as a result, Worldcom declared bankruptcy in July 2002, becoming this company is one of the largest bankruptcy in US, which is United States history. So, because of this scandal, thousands of employees losing their jobs and investors lose their billion of dollars. So that's all for my part. So next I will pass to my next member. Thank you.
Next slide about governance structure. Here we can see how weakness in the company overall governance structure allow the problem to growth. The first governance structure is board of directors. The board lacked independence. Many members had close personal or business relationship with CEO. Also, they had limited financial knowledge, so they couldn't properly oversee the management decision. Second one is audit committee. The audit committee was weak and inactive. They met frequently and didn't thoroughly review the audit reports. Instead, they relied on management statement without checking independently. The third one is internal control system. The internal control system was poorly structured with no clear segregation of duties. Monitoring was inadequate, which allowed unauthorized journal entry to be made. A key reason went fraud unnoticed. The fourth is top management. We have Bernard Herbert, the CEO, who was a very dominant leader. He focused mainly on rapid growth and sharp price, often prioritizing the over transparency. Alongside him, the CFO, Scott Sutherland, manipulated financial data to meet target and keep investigators satisfied. Lastly, corporate culture. This created a high pressure environment where employees were constantly pushed to achieve unrealistic financial goals. Many employees were afraid to question management, fearing punishment or retaliation. So, overall, the tone from the top was unhealthy. It encouraged unethical behavior and discouraged transparency. So overall, weak governance, poor oversight, and a toxic culture all combine to create an environment where unethical practices could continue unchecked.
A very good morning to all of you. I'm going to talk about the rules of auditor in the Worldcom accounting scandal, which is one of the biggest corporate fraud in the history. If you all know, Arthur Andrews was the external auditing firm responsible for auditing Worldcom's financial statement. Apart from that, I would like to talk about the rules of auditors, how they're supposed to be performed, and what can happen when they fail to do. The first rules of our auditor is financial oversight and verification. Our auditor are responsible for reviewing a company's financial statement to ensure they present a true and fair view of its financial position. In Worldcom case, auditors should have verified that expenses and revenues are recorded correctly in accordance with the generally accepted accounting principle, which is GAAP. A second rule that they have to follow is detection and prevention of a fraud. A key role of an auditor is to exercise a professional schematics like questioning unusual transaction or result that seems inconsistent. In Worldcom case, auditors, which is Arthur Andrews, failed to detect the manipulation of millions of dollars in expenses that were improperly capitalized, which is inflated profits. The third auditor rule is evaluation of an internal control. Auditor must assess whether a company has a strong internal system to prevent and detect errors or fraud. A weak internal control at Worldcom allows management to override procedures and consult false entries which is auditor should have identified and reported earlier. Fourth is reporting and communication. When auditor find material misstatement or potential fraud, they must report this to a senior manager. The auditor committee are regulatory authorized. In Worldcom's case, the auditor, which is Arthur Andrews, did not act decisively despite a red flag. Lastly, independence and ethical conduct. Auditors are expected to remain independent and avoid conflicts of interest. In the Worldcom scandals, counsels arose the Arthur Andrews close a relationship with the management and lucrative consulting a fees compromise its objective reducing the quality of the audit. Overall, the auditor failed to maintain the independence, schematism, and diligence that allowed the massive accounting fraud at the Worldcom to go undetected for years, which is also highlighted the importance of how strong the audit ethics and oversight.
Hello everyone, my name is Dashani, Doctor of Monosundan, and my matrix number is 06 DPA50173. I'm going to present about the issues and implications. First one is accounting fraud, which is implicate the bankruptcy and investor losses. Worldcom's management committed accounting fraud by recording regular expenses as assets to make profit look higher. When the fraud was discovered, the company's actual financial institution was exposed, leading to bankruptcy. As a result, investors lost a huge amount of money and trust in company. The second issue is weak internal control, which is implicate the regulatory reforms. The company lacked strong internal control system which allowed fraudulent activities to go undetected for years. This weakness showed the need for better monitoring and stricter corporate governance. Because of this, new and stronger regulations were introduced to prevent similar causes in the future. The third issue is unethical leadership that implicate the legal consequence and loss of public trust. Top executives like the CEO of acted unethically by manipulating financial results for personal gain. Their dishonest action caused the public to lose confidence not only in Worldcom but also in corporate leaders generally. These leaders faced legal punishment, showing the serious effects of unethical behavior. The fourth one is audit failure. It implicates decline in auditor reputation. External auditors fail to detect the fraud and ensure accurate financial reporting. These raise serious concerns about their independence and professionalism. As a result, the reputation of auditing profession was damaged and people started questioning the reliability of auditors. And the last issue is misleading financial reporting that implicates the reduced confidence in capital markets. Worldcom's false financial statement made investors and regulators believe the company was doing well. When the truth came out, people lost trust in the financial market and become more cautious about believing company reports in the future. Thank you, that's all from me. The next is corporate social responsible issue. The first one is lack of ethical responsibility. Worldcom leaders act dishonesty by changing financial records to look more successful. This shows they lacked ethics and honesty in their business actions. Misstating status, the company gave false information to investors and public. Because of this, people may lose trust and suffering big financial losses. The third one is poor corporate governance. The board didn't monitor management properly and top leaders had too much control. This allowed unethical actions to continue without being stopped. The fourth one is negative impact on employee. When the scandal was exposed, many employees lost their jobs and service. This shows the company failing to protect its workers' welfare. And the last one is damage to reputation and society trust. Worldcom's fraud ruined its reputation and made people lose trust in big companies. It created public doubt about corporate honesty and responsibility.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Putra Alisa binti Mazlan. My number matrix is F1104. So now let's move on the recommendation section. So this recommendation focus on improving corporate governance, transparency and accountability to prevent fraud and unethical behavior in organization. So the first one is strengthen internal control and financial reporting. So organizations should establish a strict internal auditing system that can detect financial irregularities at early stage. So by using automates monitoring tools, management can easily flag any unusual or suspicious transaction in real time. So this will help the company maintain accuracy and reliability in its financial records and ensure that any potential fraud or mismanagement is identified quickly before it's become a bigger issue. So next is improve board independence and oversight. So it's a crucial for companies to appoint independent director who are not influenced by top management. Independent director play an important role in providing objective judgment and oversight. So additionally, separating the role of chief executive officer (CEO) and chairman help prevent too much power from being concentrated in one individual. So this separation ensure a proper system of checks and balance at the highest level of decision making. So third is a enhance external auditor independence. Auditor must remain independent and unbiased when reviewing the company. So company financial statement. So to achieve this, they should not provide non-audit service such as a consulting to the same client they are auditing, as it can create a conflict of interest. So organization should emphasize the importance of professional ethics, accountability, and integrity among auditor to strengthen overall credibility of the audit process. So next is a promote ethical leadership and corporate culture. So building a ethical organization start from the top. So leader must set a strong example by demonstrating honesty, transparency, and fairness in all their action. So the company should develop a code of ethics that is a science and followed by every employee and executive. So regular ethics training should be provided to board management and staff to reinforce a good value. So and help employees make the right decision when facing ethical dilemma. And lastly is implement whistleblower protection policy. So employee must feel safe to report any unethical or fraudulent activity they witness. So company should establish confidential reporting channels such as hotlines or secure email system, so employee can report misconduct. At the same time, it's important to protect whistleblower from retaliation, discrimination, or termination. Recognize and rewarding employees who help uncover fraud will also encourage a culture of honesty and accountability across the organization. In conclusion, these 5 recommendations strengthening internal control, improving board independence, ensuring auditor integrity, promoting ethical leadership, and protecting whistleblower will help create a more transparent, trustworthy, and responsibility corporate environment. So when these measures are implemented effectively, organization can significantly reduce the risk fraud and improve stakeholder confidence. So that's all for me.
So these are the 5 reflections of opinion from my team members, but I would like to conclude overall. In conclusion, the Worldcom scandal demonstrates how weak governance and unethical leadership can lead to a corporate collapse. This case highlights that the need for transparency, accountability, and auditors' independence to maintain the trust. It reminds us that integrity is the foundation of every successful organization. Without the honesty, accountability, and ethical leadership, even the biggest company can fall. As future professionals, we must carry this lesson forward and also choose the ethics over profit.